This episode is a bit of a pep talk, and I want to talk to you today about content creation. It's honestly one of the most important topics I could ever talk about with you guys, probably alongside meta ads and Klaviyo email marketing. They're my two kind of things I feel like I specialize in or I have a lot of knowledge in. Content creation is it third on the list? It might even be higher because the other two things will not work if you are not creating content. Please hang about for this episode and don't switch off if you're inclined to switch off, or if you're already feeling guilty that you don't create enough content. Like, join the club. Me too. I know where you're at. I feel you. Honestly, I'm also growing an online business. I'm trying to sell my products online too with my meta ads, my Klaviyo email, and my Shopify store. So I'm in the trenches with you guys every day as well, growing an e-commerce store here in Australia. And content creation is just as important for me as it is for you. And I want to do another episode about it. Listen to this is the title of my episode. If you haven't read it, I've called this episode "While You Were Waiting to Post 2,000 Brands, 2,000 brands already did." This is a content creation check-in episode with you guys today. It might be a two-part actually, because I actually have quite a lot of notes and things I want to share with you about it, because there's so much to talk about on the topic of content creation. I really want to encourage you. I genuinely do want you to come away feeling empowered and encouraged to go ahead today and make a video. Sure, you can do some images, like please make some images as well, but don't just create AI generated images because they just won't fly, they won't land, especially with ads. You need a video. Please take the time today to make a video off the back of this episode, because the honest truth is that we are often deprioritizing this task in our business. When you sit down to do your business admin, when you have time in the evenings, if this is your side hustle around your work and family, to work on your side hustle, content creation probably falls right to the bottom of your priority list. It often does for me as well. I have many other things that I could do instead of creating some content, but it's actually really key. It's a really key part of growing online. In 2026, like more than ever, it is something we all need to either come to terms with and get on board with to do ourselves, or you need to find someone to do it. Like, it is actually a job that just needs doing. There is no not doing this job. It actually needs doing. It needs doing well. It's either going to be you or it has to be someone else if it's not you. It has to be someone else's job if it's not your job. So please take the time today to listen to this episode with an open mind, take it on board, and then literally just execute, like actually just get it done. I genuinely don't want you to go away from this episode and research another thing. I really don't. Please just turn the camera on and do something, make something, because you will thank yourself. And if you're running ads, oh my goodness, you know that if you don't create content, how expensive do your ads get? If you haven't got content in the pipeline to fall back on, how expensive do your ads get? I had this conversation, this topic has come up obviously because it's such a big part of growing an online business, but I have had conversation with three different business owners in the last couple of weeks. A couple of them were together on my weekly drop-in Zoom. I have a weekly drop-in Zoom call with my clients. You can drop in, chat to each other and ask me questions in real time. The conversation, this episode has come up from one of those conversations, and also a separate conversation with another client on a Zoom call that I had with him as well. And even thinking about it now out loud, I also reminded another client on a Zoom call as well that I needed some content from him as well. So you will feel, this is one thing I want to say. This is not my notes, but while thinking about it, I'll say it now as well. If you are running ads and you have a daily ad budget and you're spending money on Meta and you are waiting for those customers to come trickling through your Shopify store, if you haven't got some content in the pipeline ready to roll into those ads, then you're probably going to let those ads go too far and get too expensive and cost you too much before you finally sit down, knuckle down and make some content. If you have some content ready in the pipeline, in other words, you might have 3 videos ready in a Google Drive and 3 images ready in a Google Drive of your products and the founder story, whatever the content is, that's not really what this episode is about. But if you have 6 pieces of content that are ready to chuck into some ads and publish, you are more likely to stay on top of that ad account and spend less, and you can pivot much faster and react much quicker and save yourself some money, because you're not going to let those ads continue to just like drag on, knowing you've got nothing else to replace them with. Like, if nothing else today, please save yourself some money on your ads and have some content ready, because the ads you are currently running will fatigue. Each ad does have a life cycle. They will run out of puff and they will run out of steam potentially. And also really common, if you're listening to me and you're not one of my clients who's listening, but you are many of the other people who listen, then you are probably already spending money on ads that you feel like is not working and you're not really sure where to go and what to do next. You need to be adding more ads. At the very least, you need to be rolling in new content into your ad account on a regular basis. And you can't do that if you haven't got the content ready to go. Please spend an hour today, an hour tomorrow, an hour this week to get a small bank of content, a bit of a buffer for you, so that you can stop stressing about that task in the back of your mind for a week and like put it off knowing you've got it sorted. And then the next time that task comes up on your to-do list, sit down and get it done, because consistency will win overall. It really will win overall. You can chuck 10 new ads into your ad account or 50 new ads into your ad account tomorrow, but it still may not get you months and months and months before you need to do it again. You genuinely may still need to do this again next week. So I would much prefer you spend an hour a week, like even an hour a week as a small business owner, creating 2 videos and 2 images every week, and have them ready for your ad account to roll in as soon as it needs it. As soon as your account needs that kick, that momentum push, that like push along to get it flying again, then have nothing to replace it with. Because when you have no new content to roll into your ad account, often what we do is we let our ads run too long. We let them keep going, spending more money, hoping for a change, hoping to see something different. But then we're reluctant to turn them off, because then no one comes to the website and we get no sales. I don't mean to come across really aggressive. I hope I'm not. I'm genuinely trying to be in your corner and cheer you on to say, please just create some content. Please just make something and put it out into the world. Like, done is better than perfect. And one of my favorite quotes and sayings that I think about often as a business owner is, perfectionism is the enemy of progress. That is true in your small business more than anywhere when you are trying to build something from scratch. Usually we are all trying to build something from scratch. Perfectionism will be the enemy of your progress. That is just a law. There are 10 business owners waiting for their content to be perfect and haven't published a thing in a month. You be the one in your niche that just gets out there, gets it published and gets it done, because then you'll be the one that shows up in someone's news feed, on Reels, on Facebook, on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, wherever. You'll be the brand that shows up and not the other brand. Hey, what's the very next step in growing online for your e-commerce store? If you're on Shopify, if you have Klaviyo, if you have Meta ads, or you need to leverage any of those platforms, I work on a project by project basis. So there's no like crazy long retainer you need to worry about signing up for if you work with me one-on-one for just 1 month. I can get you some emails sorted. Let's get your segments built in Klaviyo properly. Improve your deliverability score. Let's get you some revenue. You can actually see the metrics, see the revenue coming through. In 2025, email marketing made up 22% of my total revenue across the year, which was actually an increase of 80% on the year before. So I'm in a great position to support you as a small e-commerce store owner. If you are brand new to e-commerce, maybe you want to be DIYing these solutions for yourself. You want to jump into ads and build some ads, some audiences, some targeting yourself, get your Advantage Plus shopping campaign set up and all your creative firing. Please do so and listen to all my previous podcast episodes. There's no gatekeeping here. You can take all the information you want. Everything I share is results I see in my own ad account and my clients' ads accounts as well. It's experience from what is happening now in e-commerce, because yes, I am still an e-commerce store owner. I'm still in the trenches with you guys. Please find me at Aussie Online, growing on shopify.com.au. Book yourself a call. Let's chat. You won't regret it. And let's work together for a month and see where you want to go from there. Now, back to the episode. Because genuinely, the title of this episode, if you are not creating the content, your competitors are. Like, if you are not creating content every week, like I said, don't create 500 pieces. This is not a new career path for you. This is just a job that has to be done. The same as packing orders has to be done. The same as many things in your business just have to be done. It either needs to be your job or someone else's. But if you are creating content this week, I'm not asking you to do 50 pieces of content. You don't even need to do that many, but you do need to do something. And I would prefer you do a video than an image. Ideally both, but a video over an image if you're trying to decide. Lean into the harder one. I know it's easier to do an image, especially an AI generated image, but lean into the harder one and create a video, a 15-second video. Don't do a day in the life vlog. I was speaking to another client just a couple of weeks ago. She's starting up with me next month as a Meta Ads client. And she said, I used to do some video, but taking our camera and doing a vlog of all the places I went in the day for my small business, and my son helped me out with filming it and editing it. It was just a lot of work. So that's a lot of time. I'm like, no, whoa, don't do a vlog. Don't do a day in the life video. I'm literally talking about holding your product to the camera and showing it to scale with your hands. I'm literally talking about facing the camera and talking to the camera about your brand and why you started, and sharing a product or sharing a customer testimonial or sharing a struggle. I'm genuinely talking about something that takes you half an hour to do from start to finish, to editing, to ready to go. Please don't take this episode either. I don't want you to go and do a day in the life vlog video every week, because I genuinely, that's a lot of time. Like, I know how much time that takes. I've never created one of those videos because I could just, I get paralyzed to think of how much time that would take to shoot and then edit that sort of piece of content. So I'm not talking about that sort of content either. This is just about knuckling down and doing something. And most of you listening will be procrastinating on doing a video. I do too. Like I said, I'm in this camp as well. Every week, my time to create content rolls around. I'm like, again, I've got to create more content. It's that time of the week. And if I don't do it, genuinely my ads suffer, my costs increase, my ads suffer, and then I start to feel this overwhelm of, do I turn the ads off? I've got nothing else to replace it with. I'll just do an image instead. But when's the last time I did a video? I need to do more video. And I'm sure 99% of you listening do as well. I want to share next with you that one of the reasons for this episode was my weekly drop-in Zoom. And it was such a great interaction with two business owners, one who is exceptional at creating content and one who struggles to create content. A business owner who is exceptional at creating content and loves it is rare. Like, I acknowledge that's rare. I'm so rapt that he's one of my clients because I never have to worry that there's not going to be enough content to roll into his ads, because he is always creating content. He's very good at it and he really enjoys it. That's like is a unicorn. Is that the right term? Most of us as business owners are probably not like that. Or you may be in a scenario where you are like that, but you just get a bit stuck in the perfectionism of it. Maybe that's where you sort of feel a bit stuck. Or you've got a heap of organic content and you're not quite sure what to do with it next. Either case, that is so good if you are that sort of person or that sort of business owner. It's really a superpower for you. It genuinely is, because while you are rolling out content and creating new videos and images and getting in front of the camera, getting in front of your customers and your community, many of your competitors are stuck and are not doing it, including many of my competitors in my niche. I roll out quite a bit of content, I feel, in my niche compared to other people in my sort of niche. I think in Australia, I feel like I create quite a bit, but I definitely don't create them. Like, I know there's lots of people that I follow and creators who create a lot more than I do, but you probably find lots of other business owners in your niche are creating far more than you are, which means they're the ones getting in somebody's social media feed. They're the brands showing up. They're the brands that potential customers are seeing and not you. You need to give Meta something to work with. And I want to share with you that it's really something I want you to do every week, but even a small amount, because on this drop-in Zoom call, my client who loves to create content, he's very good at it, does about 2 pieces of content every day. And my other client who was on the same call, it's like a light bulb went off in his head, like, whoa, okay, 2 pieces a day. And I know he was thinking, because he emailed me afterwards, that he was trying to get himself round to the routine of 2 a week. And then to hear another business owner at revenue sizes, not that dissimilar, but was like, 2 a day. Oh my goodness, 2 a day. I was literally trying to reconcile and come around to the fact that I need to do 2 a week. And yet this other business owner 2 every day, 7 days a week, 2 every day. So do you see the disconnect? I want to encourage you today that the disconnect is you can't create. I'm not looking for you to do one piece of content a month. It's not going to cut it. You cannot create one piece of content a month. You just can't. You will get honestly nowhere, for real. You will get nowhere with one piece of content a month. You could probably run one ad at $5 a day on one piece of content a month. But how many sales are you guys getting if you're spending $5 a day on ads? Like basically none, because if your average order value is $30, you're probably spending a week of ads dollars to get one sale come through the door. Like, we are looking to grow. Hey, like, come on guys, we are growing a business. Let's get on board and lean into what it takes to grow something online. If you have an in-person shop, people come to you, this might be a very different story. The amount of content you need to create, or how many how much content your competitors creating could be very different. But I will also say that if you are an in-person store, your superpower as a small business owner could be the content as well. Two of my clients who have in-store bricks and mortar stores, they are creating content, and it actually makes them stand out so much from their competitors. So much from their competitors, because when you go online and Google them and their social profiles pop up, they are actually creating current content. They have current, fresh things to show. It makes me as a consumer feel more inclined to travel to them, to drop in and pop in and see them and visit their store in person. I still think this content creation topic can be your unlock as a bricks and mortar store, because probably none of your competitors are doing it. How quickly could you stand out in your local community, your local neighborhood, by you being the brand that creates content, you being the person who shows up face to camera? I did an episode about this not even that long ago, if you've listened to it, where I caught up with a local business owner who is a friend of mine from church. We were chatting about content. FYI update on her, she still hasn't made any. She's still stuck in perfectionism. I see her, and I mentioned it to her just a couple of weeks ago. I said, I haven't seen anything online from you. She goes, I know, still haven't made anything. And I said, come on, let's go. As soon as you do, you will show up locally. You will show up in people's feeds locally, because none of her competitors are doing it. Like zero of her competitors are creating content as a bricks and mortar service-based business. She doesn't need to do a lot, I don't think, for her to stand out like massively. I said, please just get your camera out. Take a video of you walking through the door of your salon and flicking the light on, putting your bag down, turning the kettle on, and I don't know, straightening up some chairs and some cushions, anything like that. Then look out the window to the main street. Like anything, please do something like that. She goes, I know, I really need to. So like, we are not alone. And I'm not perfect at this, and probably none of us are. Well, no, that's not true. Few of us are, because some business owners are perfect at this, and you know who they are because you watch their content a lot. But have you gone and created some? Like, you watch their stuff, but go ahead and create something next, like today, like now. Go ahead and create something. So this was just a very interesting conversation on the drop-in Zoom, that one of my clients was like, oh my goodness, it's kind of locking in for me the importance of this job of creating content on a regular basis. You can use it in so many ways. That every video you create, I want you to put on all your organic social channels. Don't edit it or change it, like, unless you want to. But I'm talking to you if you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, don't edit the video for every placement. Just chuck it up there. Organic social media, I want you to include it in your ads today. I want you to turn it into an email today or tomorrow. You could do the email tomorrow. And I want you to write a blog about it next week. Like, I want you to use it in every possible way you can think of, and then create yourself a rhythm and a routine, a way of being in your business that you can show up for your business, show up for your clients and your community and your potential customers, and give yourself the best chance of showing up in their social media feeds when all your competitors currently are, who are the ones that are creating the content at the moment, and they're the ones you're seeing. Take their ideas and go and make something for yourself, and then create something, because you actually do get in a bit of a rhythm. I do find once I create one video, I kind of find a few ideas pop to mind straight away, and I can do 3 or 4. Even with products, even just showing products to camera, like I said, I sort of get the camera out and set it up, my phone, my lighting, and I do one. Well, then I kind of like, well, it'll take me 90 seconds to do the raw footage of a second one and a third one and a fourth one. And then I need to find the time just to edit those. Once I have, I've now got that very small bank to be more ruthless in my ad account and to be more quick to pivot and to change and not let ads run too long before they start to cost me too much money and before my customer acquisition cost gets too high because I've got nothing to replace it with. Whereas now I have some videos ready and I can just roll them in as soon as my ad account needs it. And I feel on the front foot. It's like you'll feel good. Like this is important work, guys. You will know that you are like heading in the right direction of growing an online business, growing your side hustle, getting in front of your customers and getting those pieces of communication built and ready so that you can connect with your online customers and potential customers. Give Meta something to work with. Give Meta something to go out and find these customers online because your competitors are doing it. And I want to share with you, I'll say goodbye now. This is definitely going to be a two-part episode. I've got some cool stats to share with you in the next episode. But that was probably just an interesting conversation on a drop-in Zoom. And then off the back of another call as well with another client. And I said to him, I need 6 pieces of content. I want 3 videos and 3 images ready for when we start your ads. And I also want to have another 6 pieces of content halfway through the month ready to go for when we need them. And he said the same thing almost. This is such a common reaction. And this is potentially you as well. Super common, very ordinary. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Please, this is just how we often react. It can be a bit of a light bulb moment. He was like, oh, that's a lot of content. I really do. Wow, I didn't realize I needed to create that much content. Yes, 100% correct. Most of us don't realize we need to create that amount, but you do. So for him to come away from our call before I started working in his ads, knowing that over the month I'll need 12 things, 12 ad creatives from him that I can create in ads and we can test and try, really took him aback and made him understand, look, this is serious. You're growing a business and you're going to be spending money on ads, and your competitors are all in your own social media feed and all of your customers' social media feeds. We need to give you a good chance of getting in that feed as well. And why would Meta show your content to anybody if you are giving Meta a new video once a month? It doesn't make sense, guys. Like, just think about it in a practical sense. It actually just doesn't make sense that if you do something new once a month, Meta is showing it to no one because your competitor is giving Meta 10 things a week. Of course, that is what it wants to push and show and include in the algorithm to keep people on the platform. Your one video a month is just not going to do it. You're not going to find you get enough in front of enough people. And like I said, you might find that you get a long runway from one video, but only at like $5 a day. If you want to spend enough money to actually grow your business and find customers online, this is where we all are. We're growing online. Then you want to be spending $50, $100, $300 every day. How much content do you think you need to create? Way more than you could probably think in your head is the answer. It's probably double. Whatever in your head is what you feel like is maybe okay, I could probably get away with that. I'd suggest you double it. And this either needs to be your job or someone else's. That is literally the bottom line. I don't want you spending money on Meta and wasting it, feeling like it's just going nowhere and it's getting too expensive. Potentially 90% of the time, in fact, the reason for that is you just haven't got enough other ads ready to get going and launch and get out into the algorithm and start Meta taking that content, learning and getting the data for you need to know of what to do next. That's often the reason your ads are getting expensive. So take this episode today, like go and do something today. Man, I'm fired up today. I really am. And I'll definitely do another part 2 about this. I have a few more things to share about the same topic, but there is enough in this episode. You don't need me to tell you anything else to go ahead and make a video today and get it published everywhere you possibly can. And then give yourself the breathing room you need to focus on the other tasks without that constant thing nagging in your head. I know I need to make a video. I know I haven't posted anything on my organic socials in 3 weeks. I know I need to do this. Do it now. And then you can just clear that from your mind, that clutter, and get moving on to the next strategic business growing CEO role and task that you know you need to do. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You can find me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au. I'll see you next time. Keep learning.